And here are some of the steel slats that the president's been talking about right here. As you can see, yes, you can see through these slats to the other side of the U.S.-Mexico border. But as we're walking along here, we're not seeing any kind of imminent danger. There are no migrants trying to rush toward this fence here in the McAllen, Texas area, but no sign of the national emergency that the president has been talking about. As a matter of fact, it's pretty tranquil down here.
Meanwhile, something's been happening for 4 years. CNN has consistently told you that walls don't work. Only racists and dumb people think they do. They're useless pieces of obsolete technology. They're bigoted. But recently, the mostly peaceful protests in Atlanta threatened CNN's headquarters. The mob came right through the windows. So how did CNN keep these mostly peaceful protesters out? By putting up a border fence, of course. Tammy Bruce hosts Get Tammy Bruce on Fox Nation. She joins us now. Tammy, what do you make of this?
Well, obviously the epitome of hypocrisy, but really it also exposes the fact that at least they've been consistent. In January 21st of 2017, they had a Twitter with all caps, "Build bridges, not walls." And I thought it would have been easier for them to build a bridge into CNN if they just unlocked the door. That probably would have been that would have worked so much easier. But at the same time, Tucker, this wall went up so quickly. If anybody at CNN, their ratings are low, needs money, they clearly can have a job at the southern border.
Terror is designed to inspire terror. And we lose, they win, the moment we give in to that terror. The moment we give in and change anything about the openness of our society is the moment they win. And we cannot let that happen.
This thing went up overnight. It was miraculous. And in all seriousness, look, they have every right to stop people from getting into their building, absolutely. And a fence does the job, a border does the job, and even SHOP, which you've been discussing, that was the first thing they did, was build a wall.
We stop giving it so much airtime. We just turn to the substance. We call out racism. We call out hatred wherever it exists. We say we're not going to be part of it. Why, for example, on immigration, we're not going to build a wall that is a monument to hate and division. That's what that's really. That's not about border security. The security issue that he's raising, this emergency at the border, is fake. The whole point of that wall is to get his folks stirred up around the notion of hate. We call it out, we say no, we fight it.
So there is an understanding that protecting your space is necessary. It's also a testament to Donald Trump's power, of the people that he's been able to influence in the last 3 years.
I believe if someone crosses over the border, it is illegal, and you would decriminalize it.
I would not make it a crime punishable by jail. It should be a civil enforcement issue, but not a criminal enforcement issue.
And we're looking across the border with Mexico, and as you can see here, there's no sign of an invasion. There are no migrants running through here, stampeding towards the border with the United States. And in fact, part of this area already has fencing, a wall, razor wire. So there are portions of the border that have this kind of barrier to begin with. But again, as you're looking around, we're not seeing any kind of mass influx of humanity rushing and charging toward the U.S. border.
We are nearing a breaking point at the border tonight. Border Patrol agents say they're dealing with a massive surge of migrants like they've never seen before. And since there's not enough detention space to hold them, the immigrants are being released into the country, including in San Antonio.
Thank you, President. We really appreciate all the support that you've given the Border Patrol. We appreciate the support that you've given ICE. My name is Brandon Judd. I'm the president of the National Border Patrol Council. I've been a Border Patrol agent for 21 years. I can personally tell you from the work that I have done on the southwest border that physical barriers, that walls actually work. You hear a lot of talk from the expert that there are experts that say that walls don't work. I promise you that if you interview Border Patrol agents, they will tell you that walls work. I worked in Naco, Arizona for 10 years. We didn't have physical barriers in Naco, and illegal immigration and drug smuggling was absolutely out of control. We built those walls, those physical barriers, and illegal immigration dropped exponentially. Anywhere that you look where we have built walls, they have worked. They have been an absolute necessity for Border Patrol agents in securing the border. We need those physical barriers, and we appreciate President Trump and all of his efforts in getting us those physical barriers.
About how this kind of security is necessary and works. But really, they maybe would have had better luck if they had built a wall around, let's say, one of their anchors' homes who had trouble staying inside during quarantine. That maybe would have worked a little bit better if they put that kind of energy in that kind of a sense. Or maybe they're just trying to keep people inside. Maybe it's good for the neighborhood. Maybe in Seattle it's keeping people inside the zone as opposed to keeping people from outside wanting to go in, which I don't think many people want to go in there.
Such a good point.
This week we're going to take a look at a claim that President Trump has made repeatedly that his proposed border wall on the U.S.-Mexican border is already under construction. President Trump just made this claim at a bill signing on Wednesday. Take a listen.
We got $1.6 billion. We've already started the wall on the southern border. The wall has started. $1.6 billion. So important.
So is that true? Has the U.S. government, has the Trump administration already started construction on a border wall with Mexico? Not really.
Construction foreman Mike. We're coming up the 31% grade. Yesterday, down where the bulldozers are, we placed from the dozers up to where the excavators are placing panels this morning. We're currently concreting in our morning panel set, working 24 hours a day. We're coming up the mountain. As you can see, our slots are cut for the excavators. We'll probably end up here this afternoon on our second and third pour. We're going for the termination of the wall where the excavators are cutting out the boulders now.
But all of this stuff is fencing. It's not a border wall. It's not the prototype. It's not what the president promised. A reminder, you were certainly entitled to your own opinion, Mr. President, not to your own facts.
We have 55 miles of fencing in this sector. We started a job in 2006. We need to finish that job. We've got the personnel, we need the technology, we need the resources, we need the infrastructure in order to control this border and manage it. Part of our area is covered with some fencing on our east side. That accounts for about 6% of our traffic. Where we have no fencing, over 90% of our traffic occurs in those areas.